Check. Hey, everybody, we're going to wait about 5 minutes before we start. So we'll gavel in probably 5:05. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday, March 10th City Council work session meeting. Excited to see everyone here in March. We just have one item for open, and I know we have a lot to do in closed session, so why don't we go ahead and turn over to the city manager to talk about our Memorial Day event update. Alan, over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, City Council. As the mayor indicated, there is one item on the agenda for this evening's work session, a Memorial Day event update known as Noodle, the Thinkers Convention. Global Music Touring was engaged by the Port Warwick Foundation to plan and produce this exciting new event in the Yard District, which will take place on Memorial Day weekend. At this time, I will introduce Antonio Dow and Robbie Wells, who serve as executive producers and event managers with Global Music Touring, provide an update about this exciting event.
And as Antonio comes, I want to say I know there's been a lot of staff time and council engagement on this. So I know this is everyone's excited to see the final presentation, and so am I. So Antonio, over to you.
No, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Really excited to be standing here in front of everybody. It's really comfortable to stand here and see a ton of familiar faces who've helped us play a part in getting this far. Before we start to just kind of go through these slides, I have to make mention of the only way that we get here is by the support and by the leadership in this room. Every city council person sitting here, vice mayor, mayor, from city staff. I see Chief Drew back here. He's laughing because he probably talks to me more than he wants to. We've been on a ton of calls, and I'm really excited, and I can't thank you guys enough for your diligence and your attention to detail when pulling projects like this together in the amount of time that we had from the last council approval session to getting to a day like today. Robbie usually does this, and he's not here today. So if I click back and forth on one of these slides and mess it up, just laugh, and we're going to keep going. So as you see, the name that we fell on was Noodle. And again, before I go through the slides, I'd like to give some reasoning behind a name like Noodle. What kind of started as a conversation and a thought with the mayor and vice mayor of tourism and entertainment dollars and kind of starting to brighten the peninsula with events of this size, we wanted to dive a lot deeper than a traditional music festival. Felt like Newport News had a window, Newport News had a gap, and things that we could close when it came to education and bringing business and, a brighter view of tourism dollars into the market. You look around Hampton Roads region and you see a lot of traditional standing music festivals, which come and go. When patrons come to a music festival, they're there for the day, they enjoy the music, they go home the next day, and there's really no impact to it. So when building this event, we wanted to change that narrative. We wanted to create something that was long lasting and not only could have impact, but could change the structure of local businesses, things like the Yard District that we talked about extensively, and also have impact on the citizens and the people that come into Newport News, just not locally, but regionally and nationally. You see here just some more branding. Your dates align here, May the 22nd and May the 23rd. We picked Memorial Day weekend because we like to work on celebratory weekends. It's a let your hair down thing. You also don't have to worry about too much traffic in the market on Memorial Day weekend. The Thinkers Convention moniker was something that we added to Noodle just to justify what we've all continued to talk about, what you've heard the mayor say over and over again, that we really like to stay away from the term music festival. It's a lot deeper than the music festival, and we plan on continuing to keep it that way. So we ask everybody to support that when we are out in our own abouts talking about what this actually is. A little bit of detail. So on May the 22nd and 23rd, some of the brightest minds in business, technology, music, and media will gather along some of the brightest minds in the region, as we definitely want to make sure that we highlight local leaders and mix them with the national leaders, as you've seen or may have seen in the announcement today on the lineup poster. We like to call this slide the intersection, where culture and commerce meet, which is very important. So as you see, this is kind of a roundabout of what you'll see from the convention itself. On the commerce side, from keynote speakers, panel discussions, debates, meet and greet, and my favorite one, the networking opportunity that's going to come from having these many people gather on a weekend like this. The culture side of it, the fun side, the live performances, the creative mentorship, wellness moments, podcasting, and grant making, and figuring out how to really use grant making to effect as we continue to talk about how we impact local businesses and impact the city of Newport News. The lineup. On purpose, it's kind of a melting pot here when you look at it. You see names like Chance the Rapper on the performance side as a headlining act, but you also see people like Damon John, who I'm more than sure any of us turn on our TV and you probably see Shark Tank more than you want to, but that's a huge name. And just a large mix of business professionals, media professionals, tech and wellness professionals. And this is not everybody. So this is where we started here. By the time we get to Memorial Day weekend, you'll see a ton of other names kind of mixed in, whether they're national, local, or regional. One of the best things about this, before I go on, the question is being asked a lot. A lot of these performers that you see also have double contracts. So a lot of these performers are also going to be taking spot on the speaking stages as well. Why we chose Chance the Rapper as a headliner. Chance has been a huge figure when it comes to culture and when it comes to business and political influence. Chance partnered with Michelle Obama 2017. They donated over $1 million to the Chicago education system, which we've really looked at a city like Chicago as a city that Newport News has a lot in common with when it comes to inner city conversations and opportunities. So Chance will be speaking and performing. Damon John again. When you talk about a mix of culture and commerce and a mix of business and culture, Damon's probably the epitome of that. From a start of a clothing brand line like FUBU to being one of the largest and sole investors in Ring cameras and other large business endeavors. Aloe Black, another double performer and speaker. You late, sir.
Sorry, everybody. Traffic's been crazy. I apologize.
It's my business partner, Nathaniel Johnson, who's very intricate in everything that we've been doing, the success that we've been having to get this far. Aloe Black here, a big thing about Aloe, he was the first person named, as you see here, as Forbes' first ever artist in residence. So Aloe has been investing tons of music, tons of money into medicine throughout his music career. And it's a really big draw here to have Aloe come in and again, not only perform and speak. I'll let a little bit of cat out of the bag. Friday night is Aloe's night. He's our kickoff performer. And you'll see more on what he'll be speaking on coming here soon. CeeLo Green on the performance side, another really big act that we were able to bring in. A cool thing, CeeLo Green just announced a few days ago his first album release in over 18 years, and he's only playing select dates this year, and Newport News was chose inside of those select dates. Back to some of the speakers. I don't know how we got David Eagleman, we did. And David is really, really fun for us. Not only is he a neuroscientist, Stanford grad. If anybody's seen the show Brain Games, David was the host and executive producer of that. Best-selling author. He's also one of the hosts of the #1 science podcast in the United States. And to have David on an event called Noodle was just amazing that we were able to get him. Megan Henshaw is coming in as well. She's the CEO of Google XI. Megan is leading tons of different projects in advanced technology, advanced medicine, and how we can use AI to forward business. Megan was also a huge grab. Getting in here to some of the spaces, as we kind of continue to work through a full site map, which will come out into the public here in the near future. We've been working very closely with PD and Fire Marshal to develop that site plan that you'll see roll out soon. But the things that we can release today, the main stage will be held at the Yard District in the parking lot next to Ironclad Brewery. So we are calling that one the main stage at the Yard District. The panels will be held inside of a 72-foot dome, in Victory Landing Park. It's a huge steel structure that we're bringing in, very large capacity. And again, you'll see more on this dome structure as we roll out our site map. Last here is the Yard District. It was very, very important that we found a way to incorporate the standing businesses. I know that was really huge to Mayor Jones and to Vice Mayor Bethany to make sure that these businesses were incorporated in the build out of the project. So they will be inside of the fence line. Ironclad Distillery will be used as a panel space, and so will the Fermatory. The brewery will also be used not only as a panel space, but some VIP areas over Friday and Saturday night. Tickets going to sell on Thursday, the 12th at 10 a.m. We ask everybody to stay close to noodlecon.com. That's the easiest place for us to roll out all the pertinent information as we continue to go forward. Today was just a general announcement. We will continue to update as much as we can and as fast as we can as we continue to build out. That's the end of the slide. Definitely open for any questions or anything that we can give out today as we continue to prepare. And I hope everybody sees the excitement and feels the excitement from this. Our phones have been going crazy all day long. It's being looked at as one of the largest events that's come into the region. And we're really excited to be a part of it. And again, we thank the city of Newport News.
We appreciate that. I'll have the last comment. We can start anywhere from City Council. Any questions at all?
Yeah, I do have a question.
Councilman Long.
Thank you for the presentation. Sort of on the innovation, entrepreneurial side, like our existing Tech Center, Chamber of Commerce, Jefferson Lab, are they incorporated at all to also further the conversation about the debate? Because I think it's like the debate stage you talked about, the meet and greet. What I read online was more so about having conversations, starting conversations. So just kind of, can you talk about that? How as our existing tech companies folded into this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you asked. We have been working very closely with the vice mayor to bring in the speakers and the decision makers in those companies. Again, it's as you build out, you got to start at the top and bring in your national talent first and kind of really build out what the overall programming is going to look like to really know where you're going to bring those people in and where they're best fit. But we will, yes, 100%.
Councilman Coleman.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Of course.
Unfortunately, I was not up to speed as much as I would like to be about the concert up to this point, but thanks to the great reporting of the Daily Press, I found out about it this morning. So thank you very much. So I just have a couple questions here. So how many people are we expecting to attend this event?
So the fire marshal capacity has been cleared at 8,000.
At 8,000. I thought our original conversation, we were talking about 30 to 40,000 people attending this event. Was I wrong about that?
I don't know where that number
I thought that
from.
came up in the initial presentation when we had the renderings of the event and we were talking about, and anybody who was in that closed session, I mean, you can correct me if I was wrong, but that number was the one that was floated around at the time. So, but because of limitations from the fire marshal, we're down to what, 8,000?
Yeah, I think a lot goes into final build outs, that there was no way if that didn't come up from us specifically, but if those conversations were potential conversations, I think you have to get into what realistic road closures are to not interrupt things, and what you have to get into with fire marshal capacity approvals,
Right.
and different allocations of those kind of things.
Sure.
Mhm.
So, and my other question was, how was the lineup developed? Who was in that process of deciding who the performers and the speakers, and how did that work?
Just as executive producer, sir, like we go into the overall goal of the event first. And after you really get an understanding of what the goal and the temperature and the temperament of what the market can accept, you then get to the business agents and people who represent these people. You look at available calendars and you go from there.
Okay. Because I know one of the main goals that when we initially talked about this was presenting a festival that would be representative of the entire city. And do you think that we accomplished that with this current lineup?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Who came up with the name Noodle?
It was a collective.
It was a collective. Yeah, because I just have a hard time like putting together, the name Noodle with this festival, like just trying to put the two together. I think more of like a food festival than a music festival or an entrepreneur fair or tech festival. So can you walk me through that process?
Absolutely. I think it's, first of all how you look at it. When you look at a name Noodle and you make it adjacent to food, I think that's like looking at Apple and not looking at it as a tech company, but looking at it as a fruit, right? And then when you think about some of the other things that you're making mention of, you have to look at what the goal of it is. So when I hear you say the word festival, I would urge you to use the word convention, which creates a different pathway for the type of talent that you choose.
Okay. All right. Very good. And what was my other question here? You know what? I will yield right now, just in case something else may come to mind when other folks are talking. But thank you so much.
No problem. My pleasure.
Anyone else from City Council? Councilman Vic?
Yeah, as we are talking about the name and title, because I know initially we talked about, music festival. You were saying that music festival doesn't really reach. Well, if we said Noodle, the music festival, you're saying that it doesn't really resonate with people by adding that little tagline, because some people, if they're not artsy, like you are a very artsy person. If I'm not artsy and I see Noodle, I'm not gonna know. That's not attractive to me. And I know our biggest thing when we talked about it, remember we wanted to make sure we have something where we sold a lot of tickets. Remember that conversation?
Yeah.
So I just really want to know the strategy if we have time, or is that something you can sit down with me at another time or call me about a strategy to really get the people there?
I will talk to
Because
you
I
as
know
much as you want to talk to
about
me.
those numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. I will talk to you as much as you want to talk to me. We can start there. I think just directly, the mayor wanted more than a music festival. I think music festivals don't have as much depth as conventions, as much depth as, what we're presenting here. And although Noodle is a part of the name, the Thinkers Convention is the entire name, which drives you directly to, what our goal with this project is to bring a more large scale. As you see, some of these names here are very, very big individuals outside of just music, which was a larger goal.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But definitely, if you want to talk more through it on the side, please.
Yeah, I do.
We're wide open.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
Quick question. With the different entities having the festival, the music on one side of it, the entertainment on one side of it, and the educational piece, does one ticket allow you all access, or does you have to decide, if I don't want to go to the entertainment piece, I just want to go to the educational forum? Or how is that all gonna?
So we decided to keep it one ticket and very affordable. So we didn't want people to have to choose. So if you decide to only go to the panels and the speaking and the education portion of it, that's your choice. If you decide to come later in the day and only go to the music portion of it, that's also your choice. So we wanted to make sure that it was open.
And just Councilman Long's point too, those that are doing the educational component of it, is it going to make sure it's something in line with what we do have in place here in Newport News with the businesses, with the school system, with the the tech programs? Or will we have an opportunity to see what they're going to be sharing, or how it's going to work together, flow together?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cohesive.
So we 100% plan on having involvement from Jefferson Lab and everything else. We've been working very closely, as I mentioned, with the vice mayor to get the proper names of the proper people to be involved. And the programming won't be a surprise, right? Like nobody's going to find out on the day of what the topic of discussions are. They'll be put out ahead of time. So you will be able to see where the programming is going, and what we plan on to have these speakers talk about. And I think you'll be very pleased when you start to see some of this programming.
Can I add on, sort of what Councilman Coleman and Councilman Harris? Is there a way that we could expand the ticket? I mean, we got 2 days to expand the amount of number of people that actually can participate to increase the number of ticket sales. I mean, to get a little closer, because I do remember the conversation about us having more numbers than what we initially had talked about. But is there a way to expand that number so we can have more people involved? So,
I mean, to be honest, I can't say yes to that today. Again, what our plan on infrastructure was versus what we were provided as approval for streets that we could shut down and what our original render was did not happen. So what we did was adjust to make sure that you still had as large scale of talent and as large scale of everything that we could possibly bring to the table and what we were given to work with.
So I know tickets are going on sale in what, 2 days? So what
Yes.
are the ticket prices?
The ticket prices will roll out on Thursday. We're still adjusting to make sure that taxes don't supersede. We were given a tax rate by the city treasurer that we have to take into account for. So it'd be a lot easier for us to let that roll out on Thursday.
Okay. One last question. In your professional opinion, this is a $3 million lineup.
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
sir. Some of these people, to not break NDAs and be under disclosure cost very, very heavy. Like you're talking about Grammy Award winning artist, the CEO of Google XI. Like I want to be very, very direct here about some of these people that are coming in have hefty price tags and are very, very important to their businesses.
Yeah, and just please excuse my ignorance on it. I'm a more seasoned, I would say citizen. So I didn't recognize a lot of the names, but so you're saying that it is.
It's a very valuable question, man. Even when you brought up the question about does the lineup look like everybody? I mean, you got pop stars on this show that play to a multi-generational and multi-age demographic. I mean, in my opinion, you hit every age demographic and every type of person, which was what we went into this bill to do.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
So just to add to that, Antonio, can you speak to infrastructure being a part of that dollar amount too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, infrastructure is what the dollar amount really hit the hardest with. I mean, you're coming into a build where we have nothing. Newport News does not have a theater, an amphitheater, anything like that where we can fall into a system that's already existing.
Not yet.
So thank you. That's good to know. So even when you look at the cost of like these dome structures, the cost of the mobile stages, the cost of what it actually takes us, the fencing that it's going to take us to enclose this grounds, these numbers and these allocations are very, very high to actually give you guys the infrastructure to build out what you put us to work to build.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'll hold the last words. Do I have any other questions from City Council? I have a lot of comments, so feel free to. And if I say something you want to jump in, just please, I'll yield the floor. I forgot to mention Port Warwick. Just thank you as well for all of your help and support. So when I look at this looks like to me is what is going to be the economic impact? That's not a question for you. It's a question for city staff. And so what I would encourage, at least in the military, and Bo can double down on this, after every event we do an after action. And what I can imagine, it's very hard to start collecting economic impact dollars that's direct and indirect, like 3 weeks after. It actually starts when you actually announce the lineup. And so I would encourage Alan, let's start to track the direct and indirect economic impact. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to help us a lot. especially in some of these diverse revenue that we're taking a look at. So let's start tracking that, number one. Number two, I wanted to say just thank you to public safety and to fire. In my mind, this is less about thinking convention and more about how can we ensure that we have the most safe thing ever. There's been a lot of activity over the weekend in Virginia Beach. Just it's spring break, people are outside, and so I would encourage council members to talk to fire and police. Public safety has to be the cornerstone of any city, and so whether it's limiting numbers or whether it's number of streets, I know you two have been very much involved, and so I've actually not been in those meetings, but I've heard that you guys were sticklers. So I know public safety will be top of mind. Councilman Long, you mentioned, and I think Councilman Harris mentioned the local CEOs. So I think now is the time. Like we have the regional acts and sort of the national acts. Now's the time to, I think, fill in with the local CEOs. I've always joked with Alan, we have really like 5 or 6 key stakeholders here in the city. So that's your Ferguson, that's your Cannon, your Liebherr, the Shipyard, I'm Riverside. I'm probably missing somebody else. So we're going to get those local CEOs. 3 out of the 6 have called me. Everyone wants to be involved in some way. And so I would encourage, I think, as a collective group, let's make sure we're not missing anyone because we want local talent to be recognized. Our local CEOs, our local musicians, our local Jefferson Laboratory. We're going to try to get the secretary to come down. So a lot of people are going to be here and involved.
I would just say to that point.
Yeah.
Say to that point. I know what Chamber of Commerce is trying to work on that corridor between NASA, Jefferson Lab, and Tech Center. Make sure they're included in it because we should not have a conversation without them being part of it because we want to expand that opportunity for economic growth in our city.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And then my last 3 comments I'll say is, so number one, I think now is the time for, we can discuss council at a later time, but like the sponsorship part of it. And so this is now that we have a lineup that is pretty much finalized. Now's the time where we go to the large companies and who've been known to donate. That's going to also include recognizing the schools. So there's a part of the programming that I'm going to imagine is going to bring in our superintendent and is going to bring in our teachers and really partnering with CNU, Hampton University, and VPCC. So a good time and a good tie for our education. The word that I look at when I see this is activation. And I know I see Florence right here, but we have to find a way to activate our yard district and our downtown. It's been vacant for far too long. And so we have to activate this space. I'm looking forward to taking a look at the stages. I haven't seen it myself, but whatever we can do to maximize in a safe way the number of people that are able to attend and attract and bring them down. We hear pretty good news coming out of Richmond about the $40 million that we've been working on for a very, very long time. And so if we're able to greenlit that project, that's going to bring a lot of people into downtown. It's going to help us in a lot of ways. And the last thing is for Alan, I know we talked potentially not in this CIP, but in the next CIP about permanent structures in Victory Landing Park. So I joke about the amphitheater, but we've always said like we need some sort of permanent structure out there, right? If that's going to be the place that we can attract people, we need something. So I know Bo mentioned it, I think almost 18 months ago. I don't think it's in this CIP. I looked at it about an hour ago. I didn't see it. But in following up CIPs, if we're going to start to do this more and more, we need to have some infrastructure out there. So, Councilman Coleman, anything that I missed there that you want to further expound on?
No, sir. No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else from City Council? All right, then I'll just say thank you to everyone that came. Alan, you want to say anything? Jump in.
I'll be happy to follow up with council in more detail. When this matter first came to our attention and we were beginning to look at a festival, we contacted a number of localities to determine what types of models they were using to help them work through the economic impact of pretty significant events in their community. So Marlon McDaniels in the Office on Innovations taking the lead, and we are already working on an assessment strategy that will help us realize what kind of return we're able to see. And I can provide you with more information about exactly what type of model we are looking at. But to answer your question, a strategy is already in place.
perfect. And I had a mayor call me who will remain unnamed and said that if we had a lower amusement tax, then we would probably have more of these happening. So I'm not saying we're lowering the amusement tax, but I've heard it's pretty high. So we'll take a look at that probably in a next budget cycle. If that's all I have, really appreciate it. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Again, thank you for having us. I continue to encourage you to continue to take steps at things that are first. If anything came across today as if, sounded a little funny, Councilwoman Vic, these are things that we all go through and build through together, right? So we're here at all times for any questions. Our emails and phone numbers are circulating, so please don't hesitate to reach out and talk through these things with us and get the answers that you need. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you. And then last thing I would say is would also encourage, I know there's like standing meetings that have been occurring, will continue to occur. So at any time, it's the purview of City Council to come to these meetings. They've been happening very frequently. And so I would encourage people to show up to the meetings. So with that, we'll go to comments, ideas, suggestions. We'll just start on this side and just go around.
Nothing.
The only thing I had is I know we just had that small business event, and I do appreciate you sending me over the information about the follow up from small businesses and how they view this conference versus the ones we had in the past. Is there an opportunity, and I guess we're talking about activating different sites, is there an opportunity to kind of see if we can integrate some of these think tanks together for small businesses and some of this networking opportunity? Because I think the idea would be to propel some of these smaller businesses to also be able to have some economic impact, maybe bringing new jobs associated. I mean, small businesses can be a mechanism to grow out new companies in the city. So I don't know if that's an opportunity to also leverage that piece that we're trying to help these small businesses, because too often small businesses have said we need more help from the city, and maybe this is an opportunity that we can integrate. I don't know, just kind of thinking about that, kind of brainstorming, just thinking about the word activation that was just mentioned. That's all I had.
Councilman Neely. Councilwoman Vic.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the lines of you, Councilman Long, because I noticed for our One City Marathon weekend, you pointing to me about what, Alan? You did like this?
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I was communicating with staff.
Oh, well, for the One City Marathon weekend, you know what? We did the 5K. We had the nautical 1 mile, but so many of the restaurants were closed. Was that intentional? I know in the morning they may have, but it seems like we would have ramped people up to say, the race is starting at 7. Coffee, people were looking for coffee. And so it seems like if we have a crowd like that, we would want our businesses open so that they can generate revenue and provide service to the thousands of people who are out there, aside from just the food truck. So can we look at that for next year and for this festival here to make sure some of our businesses are open and taking advantage of the influx of people? And that's all I have.
No, I would just say to that, I know just the calls that I've got today, I've been from, Ironclad and Traditions, and I think like the ones that we always support, and I think we should still support them, but I agree there's an opportunity not just for this convention or for other events to bring in small businesses. So Councilman Vic, if you and I want to do a round table with small businesses, I'll be happy to do it with you. Let's do that then. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Just echo, I thought the marathon weekend was fantastic. I was going to say something tonight in the public meeting, but overall, congratulations to everyone who participated and also to all the staff that made it happen. I know it's a tremendous undertaking every year for you guys, especially when it comes to public safety, and also all of our fantastic volunteers that come out. So thank you so much. And also in reference to the festival, we're here. We need this thing to be successful. I just want it to be accessible and welcoming to everyone in this city, and not only in the city, but throughout the region. We want to have a great weekend. I just want to make sure that A, it's affordable, B, that we have events and that we have shows that all of our residents are going to feel good about attending and also spending their hard-earned money here in the city. So excited about what the future may hold, and just please keep us updated on what's going on moving forward.
Thank you, Councilman Harris.
I don't have none.
Okay, I think all my comments have been sort of said around the table. I'll save the rest for the actual meeting. I do have, I think, 3 forms. I'm gonna skip this one. We're not gonna vote on this tonight. This is like the first read. The first one is the UNCF, the Mayor's Mass Ball for $5,000 fund request, and the second one is the annual sponsor. We always help to support the 100 Black Men at Virginia Peninsula. Bishop Dwight Riddick Jr. Is the wife's being honored. I forget her name. I apologize, but so if you can make it out there, it would be great to support that as well. With that, can someone take us into closed session?
Yeah, take it. All right, I move pursuant to Section 2.2, Tech 3711, Tech A of the Code of Virginia, 1950, as amended, subsection 1 and 6 of the council hold a closed meeting for the purpose of 1, discussion, consideration, interview, which is discussion of prospective candidates for appointment to boards and commissions, and discussion of prospective candidates for the position of city clerk, and 6, discussion and consideration of the investment of public funds where competition or bargaining is involved, where if made public initially, financial interest of the government unit would be adversely affected. So, which is potential investment of public funds in support of 1 housing development in North District of the city and 2 housing development in the South District of the city.
Second.
Moved and seconded. At this time, please call the roll.
Councilman Coleman. Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Neely.
4.
Motion carried 7-0.
Perfect. Thanks all.
All right, I move that members of the council certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted by open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion, which the closed meeting was convened, were heard, discussed, or considered in the closed meeting by the council.
Moved and seconded. Please call the roll.
Councilman Coleman,
4.
Councilman Harris,
Four.
Mayor Jones,
Four.
sorry, Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick, Vice Mayor Bethany, Councilman Neely. Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, before we adjourn, just one thing. I have one fund request from Councilman Ely for the Peninsula Panther Youth Foundation for $2,500. We have all signatures. Do I have a motion on the floor?
Second.
Call the roll.
Councilman Coleman,
4.
Councilman Harris,
Four.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick, Vice Mayor Bethany, Councilman Neely. Motion carried 7-0.
Thank you. We stand adjourned.
Aggie, where's